Good early afternoon, 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I decided to do an update here, kind of touch base on what we went over this morning. I seen that the morning video has over 3,300 views. I mean, it's been pretty incredible, the show of support here over the last few weeks. It's a pretty cool thing to see. Put in a lot of work towards this channel. It's been just over 3.5, almost 4 years now. We started March of 2021. I've never missed a day. I've been here every single day. And I try to do this from a standpoint, if you knew, of positivity over negativity. There's too much hate in the world, so we need to do it from a standpoint of love. So I will kill with kindness. And I like the helpful over hurtful. I like the kind, not hateful. I like the interaction where we can ask a question and we feel together. So we're the light, not the darkness. Although you do need the darkness so that you can see just how beautiful the light is. And the light always extinguishes the darkness through love. So we are not the victim here. If it's your first time, we never have been, we never will be. We're the winners here. Don't care your background. Don't care your skin color. All I care is we're unified within. We're all the human race. That's all that matters. So we're here together trying to grow, expand, and learn. So the positivity over negativity, we are winners, not victims. And being a winner, we have to have all the education from not just a news perspective, but a charting perspective as well to make an educated and informed decision. So with that being said, we had a nice pull down yesterday. And I think we're forming, which is interesting because we're on top of the $1.37 mark. It's not a foregone conclusion that we are breaking down. We came down, we double bottomed. We can say for a fact we double bottomed here. At least maybe it breaks down, but there is a double bottom set here now. Whether you want to look at it from right here at $1.29 to $1.28 or both hits at $1.28, I'll leave it up to your discrepancy. But the way I have this set up, that's the grand scale. So now we have a floor, which is fantastic. And as long as this doesn't break down, I know a lot of people are seeing a lot of bearishness. That's not exactly what I'm seeing. That pull down is fine. We got a double bottom. In fact, we came down now again and retested that area of support. Now we're back over the $1.37. If we hold that, that opens up the door for first layer to get back up near $1.48. Now, let's say we break out in the short term here, and let's just say by tomorrow. Let's say by tomorrow it were to break out, or we continue to consolidate. From this area, you're looking at about $1.80. We've been pretty transparent with that, but I also share the downward target, and some people get mad, and this is where I get the most hate. Tom, if you're going to show the upward target, why do you have to always bring the bullish side or the bearish side of it too? Well, let's call it for what it is. If this pattern ceases to exist and we break down, we do know there's an FVG, which is a fair value gap at 91 approximately, 92, somewhere around there, which ironically lines up with the back test of the rising channel that it took us many years to get out of and over, along with the cup and handle. So we know we've got this. Now, if you're new, and this is cool, I'll read this real quick. The key facts today is Wisdom Tree has registered an XRP ETF in Delaware and plans to file with the SEC. XRP surged nearly 180% in November, reaching its highest price since May of 2021 amid ongoing regulatory issues. XRP surged 182.8% in 30 days and 30.26% in the past week. But momentum is cooling. Even with where we're at, we dropped to $1.42 within that statement. So if you take it from where we're at $1.37, we're still up better than 25% in this rally. So even in the last week with all the drop off, selling pressure with a taker buy sell ratio of 0.93. So those are some good facts there. So let's continue what I was saying though. Since apparently it doesn't want to. Let's take this off. What's going on here? But anyhow, what we were saying here, I know it's got the little symbol there, so I'm just going to close it and reopen it. But what we were saying is I want to make sure that you understand the color code if you're new. I want to understand that, or make sure that you understand exactly how I have this set up, just so you're not lost here. Because I have a couple different charts here, and we've been getting a lot of new viewers, so I find the need to do this on all my updates. So let me get the arrow out. So if you're trying to follow my charts, let me put it into like the let's go to the weekly. It'd be a lot easier to see the totality of these patterns. So just for the longer term, what has happened here is we had a cup and handle. The yellow is the cup. Just follow the yellow. It goes up to the yellow target at $1.37. We've already succeeded in that. Now we're back testing. After we pulled down a couple times, created a formation, if we can hold $1.37, that's how we can surge up to $1.80. If that area of support holds now, it'll start pushing up near $1.48. And then if $1.48 breaks, then you'd have a target near $1.80. The handle is right here in white. So just follow the white target. And that's $1.18. I tried to color code it. The rising channel, we've already finished through there, but we never back tested. And now we can start to take this into the shorter time because you want to look out to see what you have set up for the long term. And then you want to see what's going on in the short term. So when I start looking at this, this looks like it could be a bullish consolidation hidden within a bear trap. Like it looks like we have the right conditions for a possible short squeeze, which, you know, you get overzealous selling pressure. You get a lot of people going short possibly here in the moment. And then they're forced to either add margin or their position gets fully liquidated. And then that adds to the long side of pressure. But we also have to be well aware here. So I'm going to make sure the audience understands. If XRP loses $1.28, the odds on favorite here is first we have $1.18 area with this uptrend. And then if that's lost, then we have 90, it says 94, but let's call it for what it is. If it comes down to 94, I find it very hard to believe it won't just tap that 91 cent or 92 cent FVG area. But 94 is close, but you still want to fill the entire gap. So that is in a nutshell what we're looking at XRP. Now, if you take this out even longer and you look at what we broke out of, this is a fantastic consolidation. And I know we're red in the daily, but we broke out, we back tested it very nicely. Now, I mean, if we're looking at this in totality, are we ready to say it's already giving up? Or are we ready to say that this was a beautiful 40% consolidation from the top roughly? I think that's what it ended up being. It's so funny that it hold that line, because that's where I drew the line out on this and showed that that's where the back test would stay bearish if it could hold this week or this daily candle. Then we have what looked like a... See, this is where it gets tricky, because these to me are overzealous possible inverted hammer candles in disguise with the overzealous wick. And then that with me leads that you get the correction. But then if you get the pullback up in the daily, it means that this is absolutely leaning towards more of an inverted hammer. And it was kind of like a disguise here, which it gave you the hint that we might have opened up here, came all the way up, and then we closed down here in the wick, which allowed us to come down into here. You know, and it gave us some bearish pressure to start, but now the bulls are eating this entire thing up. The fact it went to $1.28 double bottom, and then it got eaten back up, back within this, what is not by definition an inverted hammer, but in my own studies, I found if this plays out and then you have a bearish pull down on the next daily, or if you're looking at the weekly, same thing, but daily is what it's more useful for. If it pulls back up and closes within this time, and doesn't make the new low on the close. Yeah, we made a new low in the daily time frame, but on the close, it would not have made a new low on this next daily. So if that's the case, we have a low, the closing low here, and then we start here, and we came down during the wick, but then when we start the next one, it would be another push up here a little bit. So this could be very much in disguise. And we had it could just be very much in disguise. Let's just put it that way. I'm not willing to say that this pattern is given away by a long shot. And that's yesterday, a big part of what I was saying is where a lot of people are getting so emotional over the, and let's see how big of a pullback it was. It was a 22% pullback from $1.63. So many people are getting so upset or so emotional, and yet they're failing to realize XRP just came up from 48 cents. We went from 48 cents to $1.63 pretty much unabated once it started moving. So understanding that, it's not just cut and dry, like, oh, it's just going to go straight up. And if it goes straight up, you've got no utility. Remember what happened in July of 2024 or 2023? We had the 150, 200% move up real quick. But there was no basis. There was never any consolidation. At least this whole way up, we consolidated. At this big consolidatory length, we came up here and we went from $1.25 all the way back to 97, pushed up. Now we went from $1.63 all the way down to $1.26. And then if it pushes back up, then we'll say, if we went all the way up to here and we back test it, and then we went and that's how you work. So I'm not seeing what everybody else is seeing. Now, if it gives this away, okay, we'll give it its credibility. But I'm not willing to I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to follow the technicals, and then we'll see what happens. With Ethereum, I think this is a good telltale sign too. My Ethereum trade, I'm still in an Ethereum trade. And it looks like to me it could be an ascending broadening wedge in the consolidation. And if that's the case, that's a very bullish consolidation. It also looks like to me that it might have created some kind of inverse pattern here, but it could also be a huge double top, like a huge M topping with like Batman top. But that'll come if this breaks and this isn't, here, let me get this drawing to it. If this breaks and this isn't actually an ascending broadening wedge, it's showing us by definition that it could be an ascending broadening wedge, but it's also showing us we came up. Now, is it too early for that kind of movement? Because if you're saying that this is a big M, what's the pattern top? It hasn't made that top yet. Now, what's crazy about this, and I'm going to be honest with everybody, if you just open up your mind, like my trade will stay open until like 2,700. No, it won't. I won't ride it that far. What am I talking about? Because I could rebuy it if it had to come way down. But 27.98, if you look at this, how this is set up, we have an inverse head and shoulders. It's just a matter of when it plays out. You've got this, you come down into here, come back up into here. If it were to break out now, you've already got a prototypical inverse head and shoulders set up. You've got what looks like an ascending broadening wedge and an inverse head and shoulders that's set up here. And this looks like the first layer. The question is, though, does it need to come down to the bottom here again at 3,103? Or is this going to be the hold gap? This is, to me, it tells us a lot about what we're doing here. It'll tell us a lot about the next chapter. How much steam we still have left. That's what I see out of this pattern. So, and for anybody who doesn't know, an ascending broadening wedge. Oh, and I thought this was interesting. So, investors stake $250 million amid Gensler's exit confirmation in Ethereum. So while Gensler has triggered increased market demand, yada, yada, yada. So the chart above shows the total stake value on Ethereum network stood at 34.1 million Ethereum as of November 23rd. That figure has now surged to 34.3 million. Ethereum at press time on November 28th, reflecting that investors staked an additional 74,308 Ethereum. Valued at the current prices, the recent Ethereum staking inflows are worth approximately $250 million in the last 3 days. Within the context of the current market events, this suggests Gensler's imminent exit has enhanced investor confidence in Ethereum's long-term prospects. More so, by pulling $250 million from the short-term market supply, Ethereum market could witness reduced side pressure as a crypto market after a consolidation phase this week. Ethereum price forecast, the 4,000 rally in play and that's right around where my exit target would be. I'm more like 3260, 3270, but that's well within that support zone. If 3280 support holds, Ethereum's price has seen a sharp 6.6% decline over in the last 24 hours, spurred by cascading market liquidations following MicroStrategy's significant Bitcoin purchase announcement on Monday. Despite the bearish pressure, Ethereum's price has demonstrated resilience around the 3,300 mark, supported by 250 million staking inflows, thinning out the short market supply. At press time, Ethereum price is holding above 3,300, a crucial short-term support level, significantly higher than the $3,280 support line. This demonstrates that short-term buyers remain in profit and are hesitant to sell. If this key level support remains intact, it could act as a springboard for the next bullish leg. More so, the RSI Relative Strength Index has dipped below 60, currently sitting at 46.56, signaling that Ethereum is no longer overbought, but still hovers within a neutral zone. If the Ethereum RSI trends toward 50, or lower while the price stabilizes above 32.80, this could suggest a potential rebound. If Ethereum closes above 32.80 in the coming sessions with increased trading volume, it may reignite bullish momentum. However, a decisive break above the psychological resistance at 3,500 is imperative for Ethereum to pave the way towards 4,000. On the downside, if Ethereum fails to sustain its hold above 3,300 and breaches the 3,280 level, it could trigger a bearish continuation. This breakdown may lead to increased selling pressure, with the next support levels to watch around 2,800. And this is beautiful because this is exactly my play. If it comes below 3270 area, then I would just wait and try to reopen a trade, because I want to have little exposure for when we do eventually break out for Ethereum, because it seems all but guaranteed here going forward. At some point, I would wait until the 3,000 or 2,800, depending on how it looked. But that's exactly my plan right now. It's exactly my plan. I couldn't have said it better if I tried. So that's what I got here. I got to go back because my son is he's in his food therapy right now. So I try to come here when he's doing his therapies. They're an hour long. But I would like to go back just in case they need me. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate this kind of content, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've literally been on a roll here. We've been doing a fantastic job hitting the like button. Fantastic job with new viewers here. And it's been nice to see 3,000-4,000 views on the videos. I mean, I'm at a record right now where we're heading. But, you know, in these moments, there's humility and there's humbleness that always needs to be remembered. And we always have to stay emotionless here. So just continue to watch the charts. I'll continue to be here day after day after day. I probably won't be live today because I've got other obligations tonight with Julie. It's that kind of time of the year. But, you know, that doesn't mean I won't be back on later. And it doesn't mean that we won't meet again. And then tomorrow, the day before Thanksgiving, I will do a live no matter what. But we'll see how it goes today. Even if you look at this, I'm not willing to even say, I said earlier that the inverted head and shoulders was likely invalidated. I'm not willing to say that because we still have an inverse head and shoulders that just pulled down farther. It actually did not invalidate it. I misspoke earlier or misrepresented it because we never breached the $1.27. We would have had to breach that. This could have just been an overzealous. This looks like an inverse head and shoulders still. And if that's the case, we're attempting a breakout right now of this descending triangle or descending consolidation. And if you look at this, the technical target off of this breakout gets you around $1.78 to $1.80. Now, we would have to break above $1.48, as we know. So don't forget that, because we have to get above this short-term consolidation. But when you look at it in totality, we are starting to do something. Our 3 hours of beautiful reverse long way doji right now. That means that we probably exhausted the pattern to the downside until we at least go back to local resistance, which is $1.47. So that is a good sign. A lot of things we're seeing right now are good signs here with this consolidation. And just because it came down, what we talked about yesterday, as far as this inverse head and shoulders, as long as it doesn't get invalidated, not only did it not get invalidated, but it created a double bottom within the validation. So there's a very real chance that it can still play out to $1.80, $1.78. But like I said, $1.47 is first up. And then if you're looking to trade crypto, especially XRP, or the ones we talk about mostly, I don't always have exposure to Ethereum, but I like to have exposure when we have moments like this. So, and I understand the cycle. So if it goes down, I'll just rebuy. And, you know, the areas that I talked about. So BITUNIX is my favorite, whether you're doing a leverage or spot trading. The fees are the lowest by leverage and spot, so I encourage you to use that. A lot of things they offer, XRP and many others. I use HOTCOIN for not just leverage and spot. For me, it's spot. Their leverage is a little more expensive, but they have higher leverage that you can use. So if you're somebody who fancies 150x leverage on most things, you're going to get more opportunities there. It's a little higher funding fees because you're using higher leverage. But I have my VELO and my H-bar there. And I'm starting to build through what I had in leverage trades earlier. That money, when I sold out of the IOTA ones, all of that's been putting towards building an IOTA position as it goes. So I'm not going to talk about it, but you guys know that that's building on there as well. So I have IOTA, I have H-bar, And I have VELO on there today. That's what I have on there as of today. And then crypto.com I use for their Visa debit card. You can put your crypto on there and use it so that you don't have to send it to a bank. And then you can use it through the ATM and withdraw money. And then I have my XLM, I have my ZIL, VChain, and DGB on there. So that's where I trust the most for that kind of stuff because I'm verified on that account for certain reasons. And then PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. If you want to send a donation, you can always send a YouTube super chat. Or I encourage you to join Tom's Army. Just let what we talked about today sink in, and we'll meet again shortly. Have a blessed day, everybody. And don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.